Okay, next up we have CSV files or comma separated values. So let me go ahead and add another cell and we'll use Markdown. So read CSV files. I guess I should capitalize it. And Alt plus Enter. And then this is pretty straightforward, but let's actually look at what we're talking about. So comma separated value files, I have a couple of them here. I have this mental health in tech, and then I also have some provisional COVID-19 deaths by sex and age. So let me go ahead and they're both fairly small. So this one's 1 megabyte and this one is a little under 11 megabytes. And it's important to know that before you actually open these in a text editor, because if it's hundreds of megabytes, your system will be brought to its knees by trying to open this in a text file, except for some very special text file editors. So I'm going to right click on this and open it with Notepad++. And let me stretch it out a little bit. And you'll see the lines are very long because they have text in some of the fields, and the text in the fields is pretty long. So let's start at a line that's not too long. So this is all one line in the file, and it represents a record. And within each record, there are a set of field values. So 0, 100 to 500, 0, 1, yes, and so on. And then some of these values actually have special characters in them, like spaces or single quotes. And so those field values are delimited with double quotes. So the separator is a comma, separator between field values, but then the delimiter of field values is double quote. And so put all together, this is a fairly standard CSV file, comma separated values file. And then you'll see that some of the field values are empty, and so you just get comma, comma, comma. The commas are used to determine the position of each field value. And then often, but not always, there will be a header row at the top that describes the contents of each field. So this particular one doesn't actually have, it actually does. So this first row here is actually a header row, and instead of a regular field value, it has the name of the field. So the first field is, are you self-employed? Second one is, how many employees does your company or organization have? And so on. And then second row right here is the actual first row of data. So now that we understand the format of this file, let's go ahead and open it. So the pandas command is pretty simple. It's just dataframe is equal to pandas or pd dot read underscore CSV. And then you either give it the name of a file, or you can even give it a URL of the CSV file out on the internet. So sometimes you'll see links for downloading CSV files. You can put the URL for one of those links in here, and you'll download from the internet and read directly into a data frame if you do that. But I have it locally, so this is this mental health in tech. Let me copy that and see if paste works here. And it didn't actually. So I'm going to go to here, my file explorer, and select all, copy the name of the file, and paste that in. And then after we've read it in, let's go ahead and display the contents, and then Control Enter to execute that. So it read it in successfully. Here are the field names that I saw in my header row. Here's the first row of data, and so on. By default, I get the first 5 rows and then ellipses, dot, 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 and then the last 5 rows. So I see there's a little less than 1,500 rows and then 63 columns of data, which I can scroll. And you'll also notice that I get the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this index, so 10 columns, and then dot, 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 and then the last 10 columns here as well.